Hello, my name is Dieter and welcome to Win Some Lose More. You join me for Why I Like, a series of videos where I take you through some of the games in our collection and I tell you why I like them. And today I'm telling you why I like Sagrada. Sagrada is a 2 to 4 player dice drafting game where you are building stained glass windows from the dice themselves. A bit of an abstract puzzle game. Also has a solo mode which I'll show you as well, so why don't we cut to the table and I show you a little bit of how it works. So here you see the game set up for 2 people. There are 3 tools that could be used. There are 12 that it comes with, so it'll be different each time. 2 public objectives. Again, there are other ones that it could be that will score points at the end of the game. This one having complete rows of dice that don't have any repeated colours. Per row that's true of would get you 6 points, and then similarly of the numbers not repeated, that would get you 5 points per row. But each player also has a private objective, so I would get the total value of all the red dice that I have, and the opponent has blue, and that would vary each game. We have a round tracker here that will also count as the score tracker at the end, and so all that's remained for us to do is to choose our window pattern that we're going to do. So each player is dealt 2 at the beginning and we have to decide what we're going to do. There are a few things that make it up. All of them will be of this kind of thing, and will show different patterns that you're trying to build, but they will also show these dots here. This one's a 3, this one's a 4. If we flip it over, we have a couple of 5s. The more the dots, the harder it's supposed to be. So if you want a nice and easy one, 3 is the lowest. I'm going to take the 3, so I discard the other one and slide my pattern into my window frame. So this is what I'm trying to build. And because it got 3 dots on it, I get to start the game with 3 of these glass favour tokens, which are lovely little pieces. And my opponent is going to choose a slightly harder one. They're going to take this 5, slide it into theirs, and then because it had 5 dots on it and it's a harder one, they get 5 favour tokens. Favour tokens are how you use the tools, these cards here, and the tools manipulate the dice in some way. So the first person to use this tool, in this case after drafting, return the die to the dice bag and pull 1 die from the bag. If you choose to do that, the first person, it costs them 1 favour. Anybody after them, it would cost them 2. Similarly, it cost me 2 in the future. So that's how you would do those, and starting with more means you get to use it more often, but your board is probably harder. So, it comes with a nice bag of dice, all different colours, of the 5 different colours, and very clear. So on your turn, you draw double the number of dice per players plus 1. So there's 2 of us, so that would be double that is 4, plus 1 is 5. I draw 5 dice from the bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, and then I roll them on the table. Because it's my turn, I get to draw first. This is where the drafting comes in. Now I have to start on the outside. So there we have, I could use any of them. If it's a blank space like this, I can put whatever die there I like. If there's a number or a colour, the dice that's placed there has to be that number or colour, nice and simple. And so whoever's turn it is gets to take the first one. I also have the objective of red, so let's take a red 3 and place it on that 3. Now it's the other person's turn to draft. They wanted red, so it was also good for me to take it, and they will need a 5 there, so they're going to take a 5. Now it comes back around, so it's their turn again. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to take, from now on, they've started on the outside, as have I. Any new dice has to sit next to an existing one. It cannot be the same colour, and it cannot be the same number. Now they have an empty spot here, so they're going to take this green 6 and pop it there, and now I have to play here or here, and I'm going to take this yellow 2. And so then the one that's left over we discard, goes on the number 1 to show that round 1 has been completed. And then it passes to the other person. They draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice. But this time they get to draw first. They are going to take this purple 4. Nope, can't take the purple 4 because that would be next to that one. We're going to take the blue 4 instead. Now it's me, so I get to take 2. I'm going to take this green 5. And I don't want to repeat any colours, and this one needs to be purple, so this one should be blue. So let's try one of the others. I can't put a red there. Can put a red here or here. Let's take a... No, let's take the purple. No, I definitely want to take red because I get bonus points for red. So we put the red 2 there, and that's now tricky for them. They get to take the other one, and that goes, oops, that was a 6. It goes there, this one gets discarded. So that just carries on. Keep drawing it through. There are 10 rounds in the game. At the end of the game, we flip this over. We have our 2 markers here. If we've completed any of these, we get bonus points. Well, we get points to begin with. We get points sum total of our colour, so I would currently get 5 points, because that's how the sum total of the sides of the reds. And I get 3 points because I still have 3 favour tokens. If I'd spent one of them, I'd only get 2 points, and so on and so forth. And whoever has the highest points wins. That's it for the multiplayer. Let me just show you how the solo mode works. Solo play works very similarly, except now there are 2 of the colour ones that I can choose at the end of the game, and how difficult it is determined by how many tools you put out. 5 is the easiest. We don't use favour tokens. I'll explain how it works. I've changed my window. So, now I only draw 4 from the bag. 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll them as usual. Now I can do a couple of things. I get to take 2 of them each time, and any ones I don't use go on the score track. So, let's say I'm going to take this one, and let's say I am going to take this purple 2, and that's it. So, this 1 and this 4 go on the round 1. And that's that. I take 4 more, and this keeps going. Now what I can do, can I this round? Yes I can. I can take one of the dice, let's say this yellow 1 fits in the 1 space. Now I want these in slightly different positions, so what I could do, you'll notice these tools have a colour in the top corner. I can use one of the dice to take that tool. I can only use it once per game. This one, move any 1 die in your window, ignoring colour restrictions. So instead of it being here, I could put the purple one, nope, let's say I could move the yellow one here. I don't know why I would, because I need a yellow one here, but that's something I could do. That would be foolish right now. What I really want to do is place this one. And do I want to move anything else? Nope. So now I might want to do that, but I can't. Purple. What does purple let me do? After drafting, increase the value or decrease the value by 1. So I could have done that and make this one a 5 instead. No reason why I would do that. And so now only the 3 goes here. And what happens for every ones I don't use? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh gosh, I'm getting a lot of purple. That's not good for me. That's not good for me at all. For every one that I don't use, let's say we fill these up as we go, this score here that will accrue across the whole 10 rounds is the score that I'm trying to beat. At the end of the game, I count up my points, again scoring the 2 public ones. I choose which one I'm going to get more of, use that, and compare my score. So this would currently be 5, 8, and 6 is 14. So if they're on 14, say, I currently would score 7 points for the yellows, and if I scored anything else, currently I'd be losing and I'd have lost. But that's how it works. The dice that you discard is the score that you're trying to make to win. So it's nice and simple. You can make it harder by having less tools, which means you're discarding more dice and able to manipulate your dice less. So why do I like Sagrada? Well, it's very attractive. As you saw from how it plays, it just looks really nice on the table. Even the box is just very bright, very colourful. It's a really interesting theme. That's not one I've seen before. I know there are other ones that are coming out now. So a game called Azul is about a mosaic, but then they've done a stained glass one this last year. So it's something that's vaguely around, but this is the first one I've seen of it. The idea of dice drafting is good. Another game, Fuse, that check out the video for. That way. The little eye will appear. You can see why I like the game Fuse, whereas that's a cooperative, real-time, very fast, frustrating game. This one's more thoughtful and contemplative and competitive. So we're not trying to help each other. I might take the one I know that you want because I can take it, what's generally known as hate drafting, or you're just building up your own thing. I like that there are the different public goals, so you can score points in different ways. It's really good, and everybody has their own colour which works for them. So the scoring system's nice. It's very light, it's very simple. You've got those tools that you can use with the favour tokens if you need them. They add a little more complexity in terms of teaching the game, but it's still relatively simple to understand and to do, so that's good. And the solo mode. I really enjoy the solo mode. Generally games fall into a couple of categories. Either it's just you are playing the game and you score as high as you score and you just try and beat your scores, which I don't like at all. There are games that ask you to use a dummy player, so you're playing against a version of a player, but you have to do all of their stuff. You make some of... the game tells you how to make their choices, but you have to do more work. And that's fine, I like some of those. The Scythe one is like that. It works fine, there's a few games like that. But this one I really like. This is more like Spirits of the Forest. Again, check out that video. It's more my actions. I don't have to do anything else. My actions then also provide the thing I'm fighting against. So because I've taken these ones, that means I haven't taken this. This is therefore what I'm fighting against. The total that goes along with the discarded dice is what I'm trying to beat to try and win the solo game. So that's really cool. That works well. But again, it's nice and simple. It's really bright, colourful, dice rolling. It looks pretty. It's a clever little puzzle on the table. So it's just fun and appealing to most people. It's not a thing that people are looking for necessarily, but it's also not going to be one that people go, oh no, that sounds like a bad thing, or I'm not into that. You can't. That's not really an option within what you're saying. So a good game, easy to teach, easy to play. That is Sagrada. Thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe to this channel if you don't already to be updated when we come out with new videos. You can follow us on social media. We're on Twitter at WSomeElmore, and Facebook we have a page, and Instagram we're posting things as well. I look forward to seeing you the next time. I've been Dieter for Win Some, Lose More. Goodbye.